Hey, Hound Dogs, I'm David Hankins.
I'm Paul Hankins.
I'm Trevor Hankins.
I'm Rachel Wells.
And I'm Julia Cannon.
And they're on the air with Power Squared. This week we're doing our monthly, I guess we're not dead podcast. Is that what we're calling it?
You actually call it that.
Where we all get together and actually make sure that we're all living, breathing, and working on Power Squared.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. So I guess right now I know we're working on issue 19 with Rachel, which we'll get to in a minute. We're also still need to be working on the Artith Merrick Kickstarter whenever that's going to be like mid to late September. So we still need to work on a cover and a back cover.
Right.
Yeah.
Heel.
And which then Rachel, so we were looking for. So they have a back cover that's kind of. This is Dirk Brody.
Yeah.
So we're wanting to have something kind of. They didn't ask about a back cover, but it just makes sense we'd have one.
Yeah.
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 So, any thoughts about that?
I'll definitely have to. Yeah. To be honest, I haven't given it much thought, at least since the last conversation last week.
Okay.
I suppose I'm just trying to when I make covers for Power Square, they're always kind of filled with action or intrigue, but it has to be sort of chill, like the anime ending.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to think on that. Maybe like a scene in the coffee shop would be cute.
Maybe.
So we do need to have something. I'd like to have it all wrapped up by the end of August.
Oh yeah.
So we have that going. We are still trying to work on Golden Apple.
Yeah.
I think we've mentioned this many times before. We were a day away from having a signing there when everything shut down last March.
Yeah, so this close.
Yeah. And we reached out to them. We had a reason to go by a few months ago.
Yeah.
And they remembered that we had been that close, and so we've been trying to get in touch with them again. It took 6 weeks and 3 emails, but they finally acknowledged that we were getting hold of them.
Well, to be fair, they were opening back up, so they were pretty busy.
Emails take hours.
I get that.
But anyway, so we're still waiting to hear, but we'd like to try to set something up there.
Yeah.
For a signing.
Comic books be serious business.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Really?
It's getting a little weird now with the Delta variant, and you can't get sick from it and all that kind of stuff. So trying to squeeze it in.
Did you guys hear they're putting back the mask mandate for indoors starting Saturday, I think?
Yeah, I think it's weird that it's in LA County. So Rachel's not affected by this, but I think it's weird that they're waiting till it's really bad, so Saturday at midnight, or Sunday at midnight. But you're like, why not do it now? But yeah, that's gonna be kind of. Do you wear a mask at work?
Yes, we had the thing where if you're vaccinated, you don't have to, but it's more of our boss tells us oh, it's up to you if you still want to wear a mask or not. So I've just been keeping a mask on, and then my 2 other coworkers have been, so or the other coworkers in the office for the most part, they've been keeping their masks on.
Yeah. We went to the grocery store on Thursday, and some of the people weren't wearing masks, and it was kind of like, what happened? It does say on the outside, mask required, but
Yeah, I've been eating indoors a couple of times with friends, but I think one of the today I went to Norm's with a buddy of mine, and her and I just go into Norm's in the morning, and it felt so illegal because I'm used to at least a decent amount of people, but Norm's was packed. There was a waiting list, and I'm just huh?
Yeah.
I want to leave. Please.
Mom, can you come pick me up?
Yeah.
Mom, can you pick me up? I'm scared. But yeah, we're just sitting there. We're just I know we should be okay, but this feels illegal.
Yeah, we're not ready yet to go into a restaurant.
Yeah. It's cute.
Kind of scared.
Yeah.
frightened of the whole thing. But anyway, so we're trying to arrange for a signing, which would be, I guess, heavily masked and gloved and all that. If we do it.
Yeah.
I'd still like if you could do it too with us, Julia, even though there's nothing for you to sign.
Moral support, got it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want Julia's signature.
I am the one that wants her.
I do.
I'm not the. But anyway, so yeah, I feel bad that you've been doing the show and we haven't gotten around to your stuff yet. Eventually we will. Have you been able to color any more this month?
Yeah, like it's been a bit since like I worked from 9 to 5, but like I've been putting in time like after work and during my breaks to like at least get some work done.
Oh, you can do it at work?
I mean, it's either A, if it's not busy, and B, if I'm on my break.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. All right, hopefully we'll see something.
Yeah.
So let's talk. Should we talk a little bit about issue 19?
Yeah, sure. So as a reminder, for those listening and watching, issue 19 is called Kama Itachi, or at least that's the tentative name.
That's it for now.
And as a quick visual, I was inspired by these Yu-Gi-Oh cards that are based on a version of the yokai. So
I guess last week we talked with Rachel about the thumbnails, and you went ahead and did the first 4 pages as pencils.
Yes.
And we looked at them. I think it was last night.
Yeah.
And sent you some. So if you haven't fixed these by now, that's okay. But part of the process of one of the things we want to do as we're doing this issue is talk about the process as we're going through it.
Yeah. So we show the pencils then?
Sure. Show the pencils.
Click on the stream.
There we go. All right.
So you can really tell. So this is page 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what we wanted was maybe the library to actually be in the first panel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can totally see that.
Okay.
Part of me wants to keep it like consistent because I was referencing issue 6. I want to say, I think that I was referencing that shot in issue 6 where we see like a big overhead view of the school and like that main building with the sign, but I assume I could like jury rig it to that little building off to the right.
Jury rigging sounds so professional.
Professional jerry rigging.
Yeah. I can make it work. I can fix your transmission. Yeah. I'm sure you'll do great. But I think that was our comment on that. Otherwise, I really liked the way Jennifer looks and things like that. It was really nice.
I was gonna say, I was like, I'm pretty happy with that expression. It's like, if you need help, just just let me know.
Yeah, she's the one that understands the math. I thought that was good.
All right, so next page?
Yeah, next page. We didn't have any comments on this, did we?
Not really.
Which doesn't mean it's not good. We just didn't have any comments on it.
Yeah.
So you're kind of mixing up the layout a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying
I was
manga sizing.
trying to work in
More dynamic panel layout like in manga.
Yeah,
Because I figured with this issue, because it's more action oriented, we could lean into that a bit more.
Working this way, I do wish like I had done stuff like this earlier, because there's been action before this issue.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I worked in more like diagonal lines and got crazy with it.
Well, I guess that's what they call art evolution.
Truth.
Some future issues where it's all talky, then it's gonna be this.
Yeah.
It's a great layout.
It's funny because when I first got into comics in high school, like when I first started making them, I would just go crazy with the panels because I figure, why the heck not? And then in art school, that kind of calmed down because that was, like the kind of stuff I was learning. And I need to re-explore that more primal side of me,
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did they sort of break you in art school, you're saying?
I guess the idea is like, I guess the main thing I learned is that when it comes to crazy panels, like use it where there's like a storytelling purpose, I suppose. Like here, for example, you'll notice like on like previous pages where it's more calm, the panels aren't so crazy, and then when action starts to arise, things get crazy,
Right. Okay, so they didn't come around and wrap your knuckles. Straight lines. Here's a quarter. Call your mom.
Well, I do remember seeing something where Scott McCloud mentioned it, but it was about like stable panels versus dynamic panels, and that depends on the mood of the scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So then
page 3. Our comment here was that this is Steve. He looks like he gets a little more beat up than we really intended him to be. Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It looks like he got kind of into a fist fight. Both sides are messed up.
Start a fight with the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. And then with panel 2, we thought maybe instead of the arrows, we could use their telescopic vision.
Yeah.
And I sent you an example.
Yeah, I should have commented on this when I sent the email, but I totally forgot. I was trying to communicate the idea that, like, because I figured just a shot of the smooth concrete wasn't enough to communicate to the reader that, like, he shouldn't have cut himself on this smooth concrete. So I was wondering if maybe, like, some dialogue can go there, or, like, I guess with the arrow, I wanted to stress that Marty was, like, concentrating on the ground there instead of just, I don't know, looking angry.
Right.
But, I think we can probably go back to the idea in the script where we kind of have that telescopic vision, like you said.
Yeah.
But, maybe a piece of dialogue there.
Well, it's up to the writer. Because we were figuring that they actually have that power. We should actually occasionally use them. So
yeah,
that would be good. That would be a good place to use it.
Connection problems for a second there.
Okay. And then on 4, where Kirby hits the ground, Kirby and Steve, I guess, were supposed to have these on different legs.
Oh, I see.
And
gotcha.
Yeah, so they're because it's part of the script.
Well, if wasn't it in the script that Kirby falls on one side and then the leg on the other side gets injured? Is that right?
It was supposed to be the opposite.
Steve?
Yeah.
It is in the script. It's the opposite leg.
Yeah. I probably didn't write that too clearly, as I'm...
Just like the opposite leg of Steve?
Yeah.
Okay, I understand now.
I probably wasn't clear. So
gotcha.
That's on me.
Anyway.
No worries.
The idea at this point is what I was trying to do with showing off the Kamaitachi's powers is I'm starting with like Steve where it's a little more obvious why he might get cut, but then I'm escalating it so now we're at pants and it's like, how did he get cut through like that through pants?
Yeah. I figured making the scratches really dramatic might help cement the idea, I suppose, that like this wasn't just from the concrete,
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes sense.
And so
I think that was it.
All right, 4 pages, and those are our comments. So basically, you don't have to read the email.
So I'm gonna stop this, and there we
consider this
go.
an audio email.
Meeting that was an email.
Yeah. Anyway, anything else?
Anyway, this these pages have been like a little challenging so far because I'm having like 6 people in all these different shots, and I'm trying to like stage them in a way where everyone can say their piece and everyone is seen and doing the things they need to do.
Yeah.
But like it does get easier as like characters start to file out. Like, all right, time to go to the nurse's office.
Yeah. Starting to whittle it down to just 2.
Yeah.
And then the little weasels.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that covers it for the pages.
Yeah. We also kind of want to, if anybody's watching, that this is our 98th show.
Yeah.
And we're coming up on 100. Oh, actually, this is 97.
Right.
98. Next week, we're having Lucas Sheffield from Australia, who's doing a Kickstarter. We've had him on the show before, but he's really funny.
Yeah.
He's doing a Kickstarter for Viva Los Angry.
Yeah.
His Angry Fred, Angry Squad and he's got a Kickstarter starting next Thursday. And so we're going to have him on the show on Friday.
Yeah.
Live from Australia. From a caravan, God knows where. He's literally traveling. He and his family are in a caravan traveling Australia for the next year or 2. And
I remember I watched a podcast. That's so crazy.
Yeah. He talked about he had a little tiny quilt of Australia or something. It wasn't like a map of Australia. Here and here. And here.
It's hard to imagine doing with kids, like little kids.
Well, it's. I think it's probably easier with one kid, I guess, and he's not that. I don't think he's that little.
Right.
But yeah.
That's true.
But it's quite an adventure.
Yeah.
Sounds. Yeah.
Yeah. So he'll be on the show, and then we thought the next week was 99. We'd sort of wrap up. We're going to do Comic-Con at home, which anybody can do.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a little show about that, and then we're trying to line up for our 100th show. Carla Hoke.
Yeah, I believe that's how you pronounce her last name.
The author of Fight Right, and she has a website called Fight Right. We met her a couple of years ago at a Writer's Digest novel writing seminar in Pasadena, and you actually saw her presentation.
Yeah.
She's basically trying to teach writers how to handle fight scenes, whether it's fist fights or martial arts or weaponry or fighting aliens or whatever.
Yeah. And she actually advises writers.
I think she's got black belts in multiple disciplines and stuff. So, and she agreed to be on the show, so we're hoping to try to make it be the 100th show. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, we had suggested to her that I suggested to her that she should try to be on Comic-Con and do a panel there, because they have practical panels where you go to, who's the guy we talked about him earlier?
Maxwell Alexander Drake.
Yeah, he teaches writing, basically discouraging you from writing, but he's talking about the mechanics of writing. So we thought she'd be good as showing you how to do stuff or how to think about things. So anyway, so hopefully she'll be our 100th show.
Yeah.
And then we just fall off a cliff after that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have
That's the end. Thanks for coming, everyone.
Yeah. Or maybe we'll have another We're Not Dead show. How's that after that? But I want to hype that a little.
Yeah. I considered maybe trying to see if Critical would want to be on here, if only because he has his own comic now called God Slap.
That's true.
So
oh my lord.
It'll be kind of.
I'm gonna have to pick up a copy of that.
Yeah.
As long as you ask nicely, people sometimes do stuff.
Yeah.
So it'll be kind of cool if we could actually line that up.
You just have to send
That'd be rad.
It would be. So.
So I think that's it.
That's pretty much all we got.
Yeah.
So we're all alive. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
You guys watched Black Widow over the weekend?
We did last Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
And then we're watching.
Because I went to a housewarming party and my friends were just like, let's watch Black Widow. I'm like, okay.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
And?
It was good. I was just watching it, and then I looked at my friend going, so, And I'm pretty sure this isn't a spoiler, but all I got from it is basically every other person, every other line going like typical American, and then they move on with the plot. It's not a bad thing. It's just kind of funny.
But
I figured that's how all Europeans were anyway, just like typical American.
Typical Americans are going to dramatics. Well, they're not wrong.
it sounds like they're trying to set you up for her being on the TV show.
Yeah.
Arrow guy.
Hawkeye.
I was getting Green Arrow and him mixed up. Hawkeye, they're having on Disney Plus, they're having Hawkeye, and she's going to be on that. The sister is going to be on that show.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So it also seemed weird to me that you're starting Phase 4 with a character from Phase 3 who won't be coming into Phase 4.
Right.
Not to give anything away if you haven't seen. Have you watched all the movies?
No, I was just more of my friend wanted to watch it, so I was just stuck there until she watched it. I'm just like, hey, it wasn't too bad.
Because we're not sure how much we want to get into Phase 4.
Yeah.
Which we did a show about.
We made a whole podcast about that.
Just because we spent 10 years and 23 films.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that again, really. And it's sort of a Disney lifestyle now. Marvel supposed to watch everything. The shows and the movies are interconnected. And
yeah. Well, now they are.
Yeah, no, now they are for sure. They were starting that a little bit with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They were trying to kind of interconnect them.
Yeah. Well, in that case, it was like the movie affected it, but it didn't affect the movies.
But now.
Yeah.
So.
Also kind of doing that with Star Wars now, aren't they?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Except The Mandalorian was actually good.
Yeah.
Put everything into the Kingdom Hearts universe, and it's canon. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's true. If Kingdom Hearts can get away with it, then surely.
Yeah.
And eventually they will.
Yeah.
Because Disney only has.
Oh my god, Loki's the next Vanitas! No.
Could very well be.
Alright, so I think that covers it.
Alright.
So if you are watching this on YouTube later and you like this, then like, subscribe, and ring that bell.
So until next week, I'm David Hankins.
I'm Paul Hankins.
Trevor
I'm
Hankins.
Rachel Wells. Oh, sorry.
Oh no.
I ruined it. I'm sorry.
All that rehearsing, take 2. No, I'm kidding. Yes. And
Julia?
I am mentally here.
Oh, okay.
I'm Julia Cannon.
All right. So, and you've been on the air with Power Squared.